What is happening? So today, I'm gonna make a new video for you guys. I kind of already started it. It happened really unexpected, so I was kind of busting you know what to get it done. A little cold out, if you can't tell. So we'll get right into it. Little backstory. It's my dad's truck. It's a 2012 Silverado. It's his work truck. It's got the 6.0 gas motor in it. It's LS. About a year and a half ago, I did this exact same job. Put an oil pump in it. That's what we're doing again today. I already got it pretty much all the way tore apart. I was going to try something a little different this time, but it didn't really work. So last time I did this job, I tore the whole front of the motor down and pulled the front diff out of it, and also dropped the oil pan. There's a bolt on the pickup tube you can't really get to, but when I did the job the first time, I saw a bunch of people. They were like, oh, you don't need to drop the oil pan, blah, blah, blah. You can get it doing this, this, and this, and disassembling the oil pump, and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, that's all fine and dandy, but I tried it, and I could have done it pretty easily, but it was just going to be more pain than what it was really worth to me, so I figured for what these things take to drop the front diff out of them and pull the oil pan, not really worth it. So I'm going to catch you up where I'm at. Alright, so where we're at with this. Pull that out of the way. I pretty much got, this is all done. There's the oil pump still on down there. Pretty much what you got to do, you don't really have to take the alternator and the power steering pump off, but it's 3 bolts, and it gives you a lot more room up here. Pop one line off the power steering. That's the, I think that's the return or one of the, I don't know. One of the lines you got to pop off, no big deal. Put a little bit of power steering fluid in it, call it a day. You also got to pull the water pump off. Zoom in down there, water pump, harmonic balancer, air intake, skid plate off the bottom, fan shroud. So pull all that off, and then you're right at it here. So what a lot of people do is they, there's a bolt, you can't even see it. It's like right under there. But that's the one that's a pain to get to. And for what it's worth, I'm just pulling it all off. Down here on the bottom side, you roll under here. So, oil pan. It's leaking because I already pulled the cooler lines off up there, but to drop these front diffs out of these 2011 and newer is real easy. You just pop all the bolts off the half shafts there, either side, and then disconnect your wire in there, and it's that bolt, take off your drive shaft, of course, and then that bolt, and it just literally comes right out real easy. I am going to pull this cross member too, just for when I pull that oil pan to make it a little easier. But for the extra half hour pulling that stuff out, make this job a whole lot easier. But a half hour later, got that guy out. I think probably the biggest challenge with it is where that cross member bolts in underneath. I'll show you here in a minute. This rear mount likes to hang up on it. If you were to take it out with leaving this mount up in there, you wouldn't have to fight it. But there's, I don't know, it's freaking one way or the other. Anyways, it's out. Oil pan's out. It's the typical high mileage engine. I don't know if I mentioned, but it's got 175,000 on this thing. So quite a bit. Let's hear it, everybody. Ragging on the DeWalt. Everybody does. So back under here, as you can see, oil pan's off. There's the oil pump right there, that guy. There's the tube where it goes in. I already pulled that 10mm bolt out of there. And I'm going to pull these 13 mils out. What do we got? That one there. that one. And then, there we go, oil pickup tube comes right out. That right there is the proper way to do that. And set it like that. So when you pull the oil pan off to do this, bring it down here, here's the oil pump. Once you unbolt it, oh my goodness, it slides right off. You don't gotta take it apart, nothing like that. And in my opinion, taking that, spending a half hour to get that front diff out, dropping an oil pan for a $30 gasket, not having to take this apart, dick with freaking putting it on all cockeyed and reassembling the guts and doing all that. Just pull it off that way. It's just as easy. So there it is. Alrighty, so we're back here working on this oil pump on this LS engine. I put the oil pump on, leave the 4 bolts loose, and then put your bolt in your crank there, spin it around once or twice, and then torque those to 18 foot-pounds after you do that, so it kind of lines it up a little bit. I already put the new gasket on the pan down there, and I have that loosely sitting up there. It's not tight yet. A little trick here, well, not really trick, but a little helpful hint. Take yourself some just silicone. This just happens to be GM stuff, but you want to take some of this and put it down here in these corners on either side here. The reason you do that is because where that oil pan meets with that front cover right there, there's actually not a lot sealing it. So put a little bit of RTV on there, and it'll seal it up for you. Just a little tip. This job's coming along pretty nicely here. We're gonna get the front cover put on real quick and tighten all the bolts down. All right, so in typical me getting stuff done fashion, we got a lot of stuff done. So we got it all, the whole motor buttoned back up, water pump accessories, yeah, cover, intake, all that stuff. We got the oil in it, new filter. Put a little bit of power steering fluid in. We got to bleed that. Not a big deal. And then I haven't put any coolant, topped it off yet, so we got that to do yet. So pretty much all the fluids except for oil we got to take care of yet. And then all we got left is that guy to put in, and we'll be all done. My parts pile's dwindling here.